Started with Goya 20 years ago as an order picker and have pretty much worked every position on the way up to my current position, general manager. But I remember being a picker and thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a more efficient way. Picking, holding a piece of paper in one hand while trying to grab a box with that hand or sometimes one hand and not lose my place on the paper, having to carry a pencil, I found it a bit cumbersome.
A34A.
Winlink Speakeasy software answered those concerns we had with an easy to deploy solution, easy to develop solution, and a cost-effective solution. Recurring costs being lower than competitors as well.
Pick one.
Next.
Cost is, as you can imagine, a big factor in all this, especially when you measure your return on investment. So here it is, a simple tool that will get a lot done for us.
Pick one.
Next.
And as soon as he steps into the warehouse, he runs a calibration wizard to get the device to understand him. From there on, he selects his language. Our facilities currently use English and Spanish. He will hear that language and he will speak in that language.
C60B grande.
They'll hear where they need to go to pick. The system asks him to confirm that he's there. He'll scan that. After that, the system will tell him how many cases to pick.
Recoge uno.
He'll confirm that he picked the right number of cases by simply saying next.
Siguiente.
So he's doing two things at that point. He's acknowledging that he picked the amount full and that he's ready to receive his next instruction.
C38A.
Speaking with our guys on the floor, what they have noticed is, where they would have 40, 50, 60 cases of mispicks a night, that pile has gone down considerably. So that translates to efficiency within the four walls.
Siguiente.
So when you introduce technology, one of the things that you become wary about is it going to impact production negatively? What I am happy to say is that Speakeasy has not done that. Productivity improvement, I would say, is between 5 to 7%. Plus the added bonuses of not having to carry the paper, because sometimes what would happen is a person would have the paper in one hand, he's reading that paper, he's looking down, reading that paper, but he's moving his machine. I don't have a whole lot of accidents, but the fact that I haven't even had one since going live is also something to take into consideration, considering the changes that we have implemented. Wherever a user had to interact with a device in another method other than scanning, then we use voice, because we know that the voice is faster and more accurate at times than typing. And that's where the voice solution fit in between the scanning and manual user inputs.
Drop off at staging 1.
A person who puts it on for the first time can be ready to work in minutes. If a person is typing into a keyboard, they're not moving, they're not picking. What it's allowed me to do is take that and put it into a voice command. And then the system, the Speakeasy system, in turn returns that control function to the host, in its sense, it's achieving the same result, except that this person doesn't have to stop. One key point that we try to emphasize to the guys is, hey, listen, if you get lost in something, you're not sure what to do, just say, help me. At that point, Speakeasy will tell him all the options he's got available, down from user controls, such as volume up, volume down, speak faster, speak slower. And it's not just from a everyday user perspective, but also from a developer's perspective. I'm not an IT guy. I am a general manager. I work on the operations side, and I have for 20 years. I was able to see that it was something that I could work with myself and do the development myself. If we had to make a change now, depending on the complexity of the change, I can make it from minutes to a matter of hours. Engineering cost could be $60,000 to $100,000. I can tell you, us doing the development in-house is nowhere near that. And that is, aside from hardware, aside from licensing, this is just, pure development. Well, right now, Speakeasy is being used in 2 facilities. Eventually, it'll be used in about 12 facilities. So we will have one central point where we manage all the devices, one central point where we deploy all the changes from, and one central point where we can basically diagnose issues from. It means I don't have to pack my bags and go to the site that's having that issue to solve something that may only take 10 or 15 minutes. And there's also something that I value, and that is the relationship you have with your partners when you get into these things, and not having to introduce yet another unknown. Company has never let us down.
Pick 4.
Come in and say, hey, look, I think I have the solution that you're looking for. Well, that kind of mitigates some of the risk, as opposed to going to a vendor who you just don't know. They may answer your needs, but then again, maybe not.